Are you an Amazon seller who wants to make sure you learned every possible topic in managing inventory? Well, stay tuned to this video because we're going to cover the remaining inventory adjustment, and we're going to give you a small overview of the Amazon Inventory Lab. If you have any questions about this topic, you can leave them in the comments section below and I'll do my best to help you. And of course, if you feel the video helped you, I hope you will click like and don't forget to subscribe to get updates on new videos that come out all the time. How did we find cost of goods sold in previous videos? Well, we had an account called Purchases where we recorded every merchandise purchase transaction for what we paid for the merchandise. We also had an account called Inventory Asset that represented the beginning inventory in one month, which became the ending inventory of the next month. And of course, we had our main cost of goods sold account. Now, how did we find the cost of goods sold? Well, originally, we started with the beginning inventory, the inventory that we had at the beginning of the month. However, what did we do in the very first month? Well, logically, if it was the very first month that we were buying and selling on Amazon, that would mean in the first month, the beginning inventory was equal to 0. And that means that there simply was no beginning inventory number, and we would just move purchases to the cost of goods sold account exactly the way we learned in the prior videos. Then we know that the goods available for sale would simply be equal to the cost of purchases because there was no beginning inventory. Then, of course, we would wait until the end of the first month and find out how much money worth of inventory we have by physically counting it. And if we imagine we had $4,000, we would put a debit to represent the ending inventory in this month, which is the beginning inventory in the next month, and then make a balancing credit to cost of goods sold. And in this example, the cost of goods sold at the end of the first month would be $2,000. But what if we had inventory before we started using QuickBooks? Let's imagine you started buying and selling before you started using QuickBooks. In that case, you would have to find out what you had on hand at the start of the first month that you were using QuickBooks. Opening inventory balance adjustment would be necessary the way you would make an opening balance adjustment for whatever you had in the bank account or any other asset that you had at the moment that you started using QuickBooks. We would use the account Inventory Asset, and we would use this other account that accountants use to set up a company and record the value of all the assets and liabilities. This is a special account that automatically comes with QuickBooks, and it's called Opening Balance Equity. And of course, you would have to make a debit to the inventory asset for the physical amount of inventory that you had on hand at the moment that you started using QuickBooks, and you would use this Opening Balance Equity account as the balancing credit. That's really the reason for it. And don't worry too much about what opening balance equity is. The very first time you file your income taxes for your Amazon online store, your tax accountant will know what to do with this account, Opening Balance Equity. That's it. That's all you have to do. And you were already shown the journal entry in QuickBooks how to debit one account and credit another. And once you set this up, Everything else you do in the second month and in the third month and so on is the same as what we learned in the prior videos in this little video series. Now, how do we work with this Amazon Inventory Lab? Well, the Amazon Inventory Lab is for Amazon sellers that can get help managing their merchandise inventory items with an additional app that, at least at this moment, costs $50 a month payable to Amazon. They call it the Inventory Lab, and it's an interface that allows you to both track and manage all the individual inventory items that you buy and sell. The details of using this Inventory Lab is really beyond the scope of this course. You really have to watch some of the Amazon tutorials and maybe even read some of the text that they give you if you're going to use the Amazon Inventory Lab. However, for those who use this add-on app, you should be able to identify your ending inventory money amounts at the end of each month. And this Inventory Lab, this app, would be very helpful in helping you find out your ending inventory number in order to make the adjustment that we learned about to help find your cost of goods sold and your gross profit. So, here's a basic overview of what to do. It's easy if you study this separately. When you look at this picture, the Inventory Lab looks very complex. But if you know your products and you know your customers and you know your business, all you have to do is read some of the text and you should be able to figure out how to use the Amazon Inventory Lab. Notice it has menu choices across the top for you to be able to look at different aspects of your buying and your selling and your progress. However, the most important tab in this Inventory Lab is the Inventory tab. And if you click on it, what will happen is you will be able to set the from date and the to date for the information that you want to see. So you click the Inventory tab, then set the from date and the to date. After you do that, you should look at the very bottom of the Inventory Lab, and it will show you what your ending inventory number should be in order to make the final adjustment for ending inventory, cost of goods sold, and gross profit. When you look at the bottom of the Inventory tab, after setting the dates, the bottom would look something like this. Now, notice the three different sections. This amount is the amount that Amazon is saying that you told Amazon is picked up from the truck and going to the Amazon Fulfillment Center. And at exactly the moment that you set the date, this is the amount of inventory, or the money amount of inventory that you paid for, that's physically sitting in the Amazon Fulfillment Center waiting for you to sell. And that means the total inventory that's actually available for you to sell physically at the end of the month that you have not yet sold is the total in the bottom right. So these are the money amounts that you paid to buy the inventory, and the bottom right number in the Inventory tab after setting the dates is the number that you will use as your ending inventory to make your ending inventory adjustment. And what's in transit plus what is already in the fulfillment center is the ending inventory number. I hope this helped our beloved Amazon merchants during this time of crisis. And of course, I encourage you to please contact me with your questions, especially if buying and selling on Amazon is not the only thing your business does. And I thank you all for the job that you do. God bless you, and thank you for helping our country.